Welcome back to the Bo channel. Like and subscribe, share, etc., etc. This episode we're going to talk about the Republican Party not being your dad's Republican Party. I grew up, the guy my mom's been with since I was 11 is in the Navy. He was in the Navy for 18 years, so I grew up with the Navy. Before that, he did 6 years in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, helping evacuate troops and everything out of Vietnam because they were supposed to be pulling out at 73. It took them till well into 75 before they got all the way out. Now, I remember I finally was almost old enough to vote. Words are hard this morning. I was almost able to vote for Bill Clinton. I missed it by 16 days. Then Bill Clinton, you know, on his second term was Monica Lewinsky thing. Now, she's a full-grown woman. All the MAGAs keep talking about Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton. And you know, you bring up Trump and his kitty diddling, and what about Joe and Ashley? Well, Ashley has been seen giving her father huge hugs, loving hugs, and reportedly been taking care of him personally. This is not something a victim does to their victimizers, okay? 1. 2, if Joe Biden was actually doing stuff to if Joe Biden was doing stuff to Ashley, he would have kept doing it, because that's what victimizers do. They keep doing it. They find a victim and they continue to victimize them until they can't, you remove the situation or whatever. Okay? Trump owned Miss Teen USA and has multiple cases of people complaining about him coming back there backstage. He bragged about it on the Howard Stern show. He bragged about getting to go backstage in the Howard Stern show. As well as, was it 28 women have accused Donald Trump of various acts of sexual misconduct, including rape and kissing and groping without consent, looking under women's skirts and walking in on naked teenage pageant contestants. Trump has denied all of these allegations. So we got a Monica Lewinsky versus 28 women in multiple cases. Continuous, like I said, victimizers continue to do this. My day, my dad's Republican Party would never stand for this. George Bush Republican Party would never stand for this. George W. Bush Republican Party would never ever stand for this. There was no accusations of misconduct from with Obama. Barack Obama didn't get a single, but these clowns are defending all of this because, well, he says the Ashley Biden thing's been debunked over time and time again, but still, if you bring up that their party is the Chester protectors, they'll, well, what about Bill? Well, Bill openly said, hey, release the Epstein files with or without my name on them. October 16th, 2 days before the second presidential debate with Hillary Clinton, the 2005 hot mic recorded surfacing of him saying you could just grab him by the pussy. Remember that? Yeah. The Republican Party no longer cares if they diddle our kids. They don't care if they shoot citizens in the face and call them a bitch. The Republican Party is not a thing anymore. It is now the MAGA Rhino Party. because they can't seem to remember any of this stuff. They can't remember that it was one adult person with Bill Clinton, and he's already been impeached on it, and we've moved on. They can't remember that Ashley is constantly by Joe Biden's side, but we found that was all a distraction from Trump's misconduct. Repeatedly misconduct, over and over misconduct. What is he owning Miss Teen USA for? Hanging out with Epstein, complaining that Epstein is taking his underage girls. This is the new Republican Party. They are the Chester protectors. There is no and the economy's is it doing better? Eggs are cheaper, gas is cheaper, but are the high wage jobs coming in? No, their job numbers have been sucking wind since he got into office. So bad he had to fire the guy that was releasing the job numbers. Everybody, I don't care what color you are, we want the Epstein files released. Unless, of course, you're a conservative Republican that doesn't care about Chesters. At least once, twice a week, I'm getting posts on my Facebook of another MAGA getting busted for some kind of underage child misconduct. The party's loaded with them. I mean, it makes sense because, churches are conservative, they vote Republican, they push you to vote Republican. All the churches I went to kept putting, you're not going to tell me how to vote. What is wrong with you? The whole time, every time they pulled that on me, what is wrong with you? How are you going to tell me how to vote? They have to have sexual assault and molestation insurance, SAM insurance. Gay bars don't have to have that. But they're pointing to, there's a drag queen reading a book to kids in public. What are you guys doing in private that you have to have SAM insurance? The drag queen reading hour doesn't have to have SAM insurance. Why does the churches have to have? That's what I'm trying to tell you. They have to have this SAM insurance because that's what they are. That is the Republican Conservative Party. I voted for Bush because he said he was no child left behind. We're going to make sure we get better education. Well, my sister, the teacher, Patricia, let me know that was all for show. They didn't really do anything. You just push them along and say they got educated. So we're getting more stupid people out in the world, which is fine by the Republican Party, because the Republican Party got through a fit when the Civil Rights Act got passed, because smart people were pushing to get the Civil Rights we had the best education up until the Civil Rights Act. After the Civil Rights Act, the education started declining because they don't want educated people in this country. They don't want people that can think for themselves. George Carlin said so, man. It's a big club and you're not in it. They don't want you involved in it. They want you to be dumb, just smart enough to work and pay taxes. And let your kids get diddled by whatever, So yeah, the Republican Party is not your dad's Republican Party. I don't know what to tell you. God bless. Have a good night, or good day now. Bye-bye.